Andy, thank you for.
Thanks for having me, Jeffrey.
Many people have shared that this pandemic environment has accelerated many changes that were already happening in our lives. How has the current environment affected your organization specifically?
Yeah, Jeffrey, I can tell you it's never been a better time to be a Vermont tech business. We are very lucky in that the transition to remote was largely uneventful for our company. Being in a small state, very few of our clients are actually here. Our employees have started working from home, and the reviews across the board have been very positive as far as impact on happiness and things like that. We put out a survey a few weeks back asking folks if they are interested in returning to the office as things start to get better in Vermont, as they have been doing. And basically nobody wants to. It's been a pretty wholesale change, and it can be a little hard to hear. It's a surprise, right? As a manager, company owner, you invest all this time into an office that makes people happy, and you try to cultivate friendships and culture and a good vibe in the office. And it's at the same time nice to hear some unvarnished truth. And I think the pandemic has made it easier for people to really come to grips with what matters to them and share what they really believe in. So if our office doesn't come back ever the way it used to be, it's fine. We get to live here in Vermont and enjoy the outdoors. And I'd say more broadly on that topic, an interesting dynamic that I've seen emerge is really Vermont's viability as a place to live while you work for a big company, especially in the tech space. It's used to be you have to go to a big city. And I think in a world where all these large companies, Facebook, Google, et cetera, are all working remotely right now, you can live here in Vermont and you can have a good lifestyle, and you can basically enjoy your time and live in a place you want to be and still work for these big companies that are having a huge impact. I think this maxim that the office is an all-important requirement of corporate life has been really revealed to be more than a tradition, really, than anything else. And I think that this change is good, certainly for our company, but it's also good for a lot of people who I think often struggle with the standard go into the office kind of lifestyle. I think introverts, we've got a bunch of introverts working for us. Being in a technical space, that's very common, and people are really thriving under these conditions. And I think a more important point is that when you think about New York, Boston, Seattle, where these big tech companies are, and especially San Francisco, there is uniformly these extraordinary housing cost issues. And it's gotten to be, the point where in order to be coming out of college, moving to one of these cities to work for one of these companies, you basically have to have generational wealth. And it's the only way, if you don't want to cram yourself into a closet in a 3-rise bunk bed, that you can do it. And obviously income inequality runs along, racial lines and other lines that we all care a lot about. So the idea that we can have these amazing jobs without that requirement, I think, is just good for everybody.